The title of the book is Henry and the Elephant, a Thomas the Tank Engine storybook based on the Railway series by the Reverend W. Awdry with pictures by Owen Bell. When the director of the railway, Sir Topham Hatt, gave Thomas the Tank Engine his very own set of coaches, he also gave Thomas a line of his own. Henry the Green Engine and Gordon the Big Blue Express Engine were lonely when Thomas left the yard to run his branch line. They missed him very much. And now they had more work to do. They couldn't wait in the shed till it was time to go and then expect to find their coaches waiting at the platform. Henry and Gordon had to fetch their coaches themselves, and they didn't like that. Edward the Kind Blue Engine sometimes did odd jobs, and so did James the Proud Red Engine. But James soon started grumbling too. Sir Topham Hatt gave Henry and Gordon new coats of paint to cheer them up, but they still grumbled about the extra work. "We get no rest, we get no rest," they complained as they clanked around the yard. But the coaches only laughed and called Henry and Gordon lazy. But one day, a circus came to town. The animals rode in special freight cars, and performers rode in special coaches. All the engines wanted to push and pull the circus freight cars and coaches into place. When the circus was ready to go on to the next town, Sir Topham told James to pull the train. That made the other engines dreadfully jealous. However, they soon forgot about the circus, as they had plenty of work to do. One morning, Henry was told to take some workmen to a tunnel that was blocked. He grumbled away to find 2 freight cars to carry the workmen and their tools. Pushing freight cars, he muttered in a sulky sort of way. They stopped outside the tunnel and tried to look through it, but it was quite dark. No daylight shone from the other end. The workmen took their tools and went inside. Suddenly, with a shout, they all ran out, looking frightened. We went up to the thing that was blocking the tunnel and started to dig, but it grunted and moved, they said. "Nonsense," said the foreman. "It's not nonsense," said the workers. "It's big and alive, and we're not going in there again." "Well," said the foreman, "I'll send the freight cars into the tunnel, and Henry can push the obstacle out." "Whoosh!" said Henry unhappily. He hated tunnels, but this was worse. Something big and alive was inside. "Beep, beep, 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 beep," he whistled. "I don't want to go in." "Neither do I," said his driver. "But we must clear the line." "Oh dear!" "Oh dear," puffed Henry as they slowly moved into the darkness. Bump! Henry's driver shut off the steam at once. "Help! Help! We're moving backward!" wailed Henry. Then, moving slowly out into the daylight, came Henry, and then the freight cars. And last of all, pushing hard and looking rather cross, came a large elephant. "What do you know?" said the foreman. "It must be an elephant from the circus." Henry's driver put on his brakes, and someone ran to telephone for the animal keeper. The elephant stopped pushing and came toward Henry and the workers. They gave him some sandwiches and cake. So he forgot he was cross and remembered he was hungry. The elephant drank 3 buckets of water without stopping and was just going to drink another when Henry let off steam. The elephant jumped with a whoosh. He squirted the water over Henry by mistake. Poor Henry. When the animal keeper came, the workmen rode home, happily in their freight cars, laughing at their adventure. But Henry was very upset. "An elephant pushed me! An elephant whooshed me!" he hissed. Once he was back in the shed, he told Gordon and James about the elephant. And I am sorry to say that instead of laughing and telling Henry not to be silly, Gordon and James looked sad and said, "You poor engine, you had a bad day."